not only are you African American, you're African American and female in a town where those are tough cards to draw.
I mean, why do we constantly call each other African Americans? I never when we go out there and go on the front line and fight the war, we're Americans. When we go in the Olympic Games, we're Americans. But now when we come home, we're African Americans. You know, I don't understand. We're Americans. We built this land.
Preach.
Absolutely.
We could be Black Americans, but we're Americans. We built this land.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of times we saying we African Americans, and a lot of us in this country don't know nothing about Africa. I mean, I've never seen none of us compete against. You know, when the Europeans come to America, we don't call them European Americans.
And so,
Hope y'all catching these gems being dropped. Hope they're catching them.
what do you think? So, well, look, I mean,
And just whenever they want to separate us,
yeah,
when we commit a crime, we African American.
yeah.
When they want to separate, but when we do something good and
When you go to the Olympics, you're an American.
we're an American, because when we get that medal, we're an American.
Yeah.
So there's a difference.
That's good. Hey, now listen,
You can't call me. I can't be this one day to be something the next day.
Yeah.
Only when it's beneficial to you. That's when I'm an American.
And are you a black fighter or are you the goat? Right? Are they saying, oh, he a black goat? The greatest of all time. Right?
Now,
No matter what color the goat is, just call me a goat.
All right, Shalom. This is Gamaliala out of Great Millstone, Atlanta. Want to give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kagwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, now this is a quick lesson. And this is going to be entitled, Neither African Nor American. All right, and yeah, we're not African or American. You know, here you have this guy, Floyd Mayweather. All right, and you know, he's basically on a panel interview. All right, and the interviewer, you know, basically was saying, you know, he was giving props to whoever that black woman is, so-called black woman, you know, and he called her African American. Now Floyd interjected and basically said, you know, well, why do we have to call them African? Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, he said, why not just American? Basically, you know, we American. You know, basically drop the African, like, hey, we American. You know, because, you know, when we go out to fight, you know, when we go fight a war, we go to when we go to in the Olympics, you know, we're American, you know, we're considered American. Now, here's the issue with that. All right, well, first of all, number one, all right, you so-called blacks, okay, and African or African Americans, okay, which are those are labels put on you as a people, but your true nationality is the tribe of Judah of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, you are the tribe of Judah of the 12 prospective tribes of Israel. All right, and the word Israel means Yasharallah, which means prince of the power. He is a prince of the power, or he is a prince of the God. I'm sorry, he is a prince of God. All right, so that's Israel. Okay, all right. You go back to the our biblical forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which Jacob had his name changed to Israel. All right. So yeah, that's your true biblical nationality, you so-called Negroes. Also, as well as you Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. All right. So going back to the point, all right, Floyd Mayweather, he wants to identify himself as an American rather than African, which is also wrong. Okay, because first of all, when you deal with lineage, and first of all, lineage is the most important thing. See, here's the issue that people run into is they try to associate race with origin of birth. Race, they try to associate race with origin. So in other words, if I was born, well, number one, you have, I mean, thousands, probably hundreds, if not thousands of different nationalities and cultures and races in America. All right. So, that doesn't really state who you are as a, that's not a race. See, they have labeled you as a race as two continents. You're African and you're American. Well, number one, if you're African, there's different nationalities of people in Africa. There's different ethnicities in Africa, as well as there's different ethnicities in America. There's different ethnicities in Europe. There's different ethnicities in Asia. These are continents. And see, that's what this is a common, very, very common misconception, is people naming themselves after continents. But that doesn't declare who you are as a people. Just because you are named after a continent, or you label yourself after a continent, that's where you are born. That's your origin of birth. But that's not who you are as a people. So you have to go into lineage, okay? So let's start with this. Numbers 1:18. It says, "And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls." All right, so this is when Moses and Aaron basically, they established a lineage, but they did it by the house of their fathers. So when you look at last name, there's a reason why the father carries the last name. When a woman marries, okay, she takes on the man's last name. When they have children, the children take on the male. Typically, in today's time, of course, there's different things. There's exceptions. But typically, the children will take on the father's last name. All right? So what is that? That's lineage, okay? Race comes from the male line, okay? Race is lineage. As a matter of fact, that word gene comes from the word gene, I believe genos, which means sperm, okay? So basically, you come from your father. Excuse my French, but you come from your father's. Everyone comes from a man's nutsack. Hey, you got to put it real sometimes, But everybody comes from sperm. All right, a man's sperm. All right. Every human on earth that's living comes from male sperm, okay, which was implanted. That seed, which is a seed, it was implanted in a woman, okay, which fertilized that egg. The sperm fertilized the egg, and they teach you that. They teach you that in school. Now, just because you are born in a particular land, that doesn't mean that you're, let's say I'm a so-called black man, all right, and I was born and raised in China. okay, yeah, I would be Chinese. That would be my culture. That would be my language. That would be everything. But I'm still a so-called black man. You know, we always bring up the analogy of a fruit. If you have an apple seed, if I have a seed of an apple, you know, no matter where I take that seed and plant it, it's gonna spring up an apple tree. You know. So let's get this. Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Okay? So the Lord puts a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. So we're not the same as the so-called Africans. All right? And neither are we saying the same as so-called Americans. There's really no such thing as, I mean, if we're talking Americans, the most American people, the indigenous Americans, if we're being real, is the Native Americans. All right, Gad, which is the tribe of Gad. Those are the true Americans. If we're being real, the tribe of Gad, you know, and the Northern Kingdom, you know, they migrated. Well, I would not even migrated. They were taken captive to the Americas. All right. So this guy, Floyd, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He simply doesn't know what he's talking about. He's confused. And he wants to disassociate himself from African, but and associate himself as an American, but you're not an American. You're not American either. Those are two continents. You're labeling yourself after two continents in which multiple races of people live. So y'all don't see so these people don't see the fallacy in that, you know? And it's a really, really simple concept. It's not even it's really not hard to grasp at all, you know? But, hey, the scriptures say, they doeth not consider. What's that? Isaiah. Yeah, Isaiah 1:3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. So he doesn't even consider the fact that, damn, you know what? That doesn't make sense. I'm not an American, not an African. So maybe maybe I'm an Israelite. Maybe let me look in the Bible and see who I am. Let me figure out my true nationality according to the scriptures, according to what God, the Most High, YAHAWASHI, has written. But they doeth not consider. They don't even know. All right. Let me see. Let's get this. Let me see. Let me get this. Bear with me one moment. Slack you. All right, let's get this. All right, it says, so the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Okay? So, yeah, we were scattered abroad over all the earth. Okay, the Israelites, all right, which during this time they were known as the sons of men. All right, but our seed was everywhere. Okay, we were brought everywhere on the earth, upon the four corners of the earth, you know. I think that was the point. Yeah, so yeah, you know, we were brought everywhere, man. The Lord spread us. The Lord dispersed us, you know. Let's get that word. Dispersed. John 7:35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go that we shall not find him? Will he go into the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? And that word diaspora basically means spread across the world. So we were dispersed, but it says, will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? All right. So will he go to the dispersed, those that were dispersed? So we were spread all across the earth. All right. So yeah, you know, hey, Israelites are everywhere in Africa and Asia and, you know, in North America, South America, Antarctica, all continents, man. Europe, all the continents on the earth is Israelites, you know, has Israelites and dwells Israelites. So, you know, you call yourself after these different continents. That's not true. All right, you're Israelites to the core. And, you know, if you go back to any of the 12 prospective tribes, then you are Israelite. If your lineage, your father's father's father, from you know the seed line that goes back to Israelite, you are Israelite. So that's the bottom line. Lord willing, you were edified. I'm gonna end off by giving all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom.